Even outside of the playoffs, they have just sent the NBA a terrifying message. The Atlanta Hawks, yes, they are out of the playoffs, but we definitely have some major news in regards to certain players on the Atlanta Hawks and how they have sent a message to the NBA. What's going on, everybody? My name is Walter Pollard, and of course, on the other side of the boards, there is my man, Chris Tip Moore, and we are here to deliver to you guys, of course, Hawks Digest. Chris, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man, salute to everybody, man. Hawks fans, stand up. Hey, man, we got some finalists we got to talk about, man. Sending a serious message out here to the NBA. Bet you didn't see that coming. So, hey, man, let's get into it.
I spent a good amount of yesterday looking at the NBA playoffs and all of this stuff. And granted, I definitely love to see what we have definitely got a hold of. So it would behoove us to go ahead and just jump right into it. But before we do that, let's go ahead and just thank everybody for viewing, liking, sharing, just looking at all of our content. Myself and Chris Tillmore do a very not hard, but a good job, I would assume, of trying to deliver you guys a lot of Hawks content. Thank you to the 100+ commenters that have commented on our last duo video. I do appreciate it. Unfortunately, it was because of us losing to the Miami Heat in the play-in tournament, but we definitely appreciate all of you guys that have liked, shared, subscribed, commented, send it to whomever else. So definitely want to keep that going. The 62% of you that are not subscribed, we definitely want to bring you guys over to the cool kids club. You dig? And you know, definitely want to get you guys subscribed because this is pretty big. But Chris, we got some stuff that we got to talk about, man. Let me know what's going on.
Oh, man, you already know yesterday it was some news dropping. Our guys, Dyson Daniels, Zaccharie Risacher, have officially been named finalists for some end of the year awards, man. We definitely got to get into it. Talking about most improved, we're talking about defensive player of the year, and of course, rookie of the year. So, man, just first of all, shout out to those young men for even being considered and doing enough to get considered, for these awards. And hey, let's just see, man, if we can pull it out, man. What you think about it?
For sure. So, I mean, of course, I didn't even realize, or I guess I was too focused on the Defensive Player of the Year award that I didn't realize or recognize, or any other eyes, that Dyson Daniels was up for the Most Improved Player of the Year award. And thinking about it and looking back over it, I do believe that wholeheartedly. I think that for sure is something he would definitely win. I don't even know who the finalists are outside of Dyson Daniels for that award. Just go ahead and give it to him.
Well, outside as far as like most improved, we're talking about there. They have some stiff competition for him
Okay.
there. Cade Cunningham is a consideration for the Detroit Pistons. They're in a playoff run right now, and Cade did take a step forward. I feel like a lot of people kind of seen that coming. But also we have now I never get his first name right, but I'm gonna still try it anyway. Aveka Zubats.
Zubac.
And
Okay. We just
yeah,
call him Zubac. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, but
So, but
looking at the stats, I do feel as though Dyson Daniels, again, you can say that I'm biased, but I feel as though Dyson Daniels has definitely made some major steps because this guy was a reserve. Wasn't he like a reserve on the Pelicans?
well, on the Pelicans, you got to think about it like this. He was one of those guys that just kind of stood in the corner, and he only started 27 games in 2 seasons in New Orleans.
Okay.
And he averaged, I know his last year in New Orleans, about 5.86 points. But he leaped to 14.1 points, 5.9 rebounds, 4.4 assists. Of course, 3 steals per game, all the deflections that he got, starting 76 games for the Atlanta Hawks, man. And also he had his career highs in shooting percentage and 3-point shooting as well. So I'm just saying
It
that's a
writes
big leap.
itself. Yeah, I think that.
It's almost a 10-point jump.
Yeah, it's a major leap in that case, man. A big leap in that sense. I mean, when you look at the other names, Cade Cunningham and Zubac, they've already been in the minds of most NBA writers, viewers, whomever you want to look at it. They've already been out there per se. Dyson Daniels has just come onto this scene like a whirlwind. I mean, we didn't see it coming. didn't, I mean, outside of us, because I know once this page started, I saw and looked into Dyson Daniels, read up on him, and knew about his performance with Team Australia in the Olympics this year or last year, and how he had a major impact for them, and how that was going to translate over to the Atlanta Hawks, and how that would help the Atlanta Hawks and hopefully help Trae Young stay in Atlanta. And thankfully, they made me almost seem like I was a psychic, because all of those things definitely came true. He definitely came in, made a name for himself. I think, okay, what would you say? Because I think it's only 3 guys, so I would say about 33% chance of him winning it. What would you say?
I mean, honestly, I think it should be higher than that. I mean, no disrespect to Zubats. I know he had a pretty good year. I mean, he played with some guys that can give him the ball. You know what I'm saying? James Harden running the point over there. But and Cade Cunningham, again, I feel like people kind of seen him going to take like at least another step forward. But I want to say this as well. His leap wasn't necessarily as large as Dyson Daniels. Okay, in 2023-24, he averaged 22.7 points. This year, he averaged 26.1. That's not a huge jump.
Right. It's just
then
the responsibility was a little bit greater.
Right. And I mean, yes, the assists did go up a little bit too as well, from 7.5 to 9.1. But again, the steals aren't there. The rebounds went up just a little bit. Again, basically the picture that I'm painting is his leap wasn't as large as Dyson Daniels. Again, Dyson Daniels almost had a 10-point jump, averaging 3 steals, rebounds, everything went up. But that point jump, I think that's right there what may get Dyson Daniels the most improved.
I agree. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Now we got to move on to, of course, the award that I definitely want Dyson Daniels to get. The one that I think is the most debatable amongst NBA viewers, watchers, voters, whatever you want to call them. NBA finalists for Defensive Player of the Year. Only other people that are in that group would be Draymond Green, and I want to say the gentleman from the Cleveland Cavaliers,
Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley, yes, Evan Mobley. Let's dig into this real quickly. A lot of how do you put it? A lot of not speculation, but a lot of back and forth in regards to this specific one. How do we go about this?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. You can't tell me nothing different. When I seen who the finalists was, I was like, okay. Oh, excuse me, who the finalists were. I was like, I see where they're going with it. But my thing is, again, my argument is always gonna be 229. Like every time somebody say, oh yeah, man, Draymond this, Evan Mobley that, it's a big man award. Big man got to win it. Well, if it's a big man award, stop nominating anybody who's not a forward and beyond then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If Dyson Daniels can't have 229 steals in his first season with his new team, setting a franchise record, getting steals in a league to where they call fouls for just about anything, and hand checking is not available. Yet this man still is getting this many steals and affecting the game. Right. I'm talking about leading the league in steals per game, deflections per game.
Right.
Come on now, these are major categories, and this man can't get Defensive Player of the Year. That's harder to do than just blocking shots and stuff like that. And no discredit to those guys. I know Draymond, he's been doing what he's been doing, for years since he came out of Michigan State. Evan Mobley is, a defender who's up and coming and rising. But Dyson Daniels is just so impressive, just the way how he's able to disrupt somebody's offense. That towards the end of the year, you start seeing more and more. They're rolling Dyson Daniels towards more screens, trying to screen him off their best player. You've seen these things, man. They're game planning for Dyson Daniels because they know that he is their best player's nightmare.
Absolutely.
Absolutely affecting the game, bro. I'm like, Dyson should be taking home 2 awards this year.
He should. And just to read off what I've been looking on StatMuse, via X or Twitter, however you want to call it. But on StatMuse, we got Defensive Player of the Year finalists, of course, Draymond Green, Evan Mobley. Listen to the statistics, okay?
Okay.
Evan Mobley, 61 steals. Draymond Green, 99 steals.
Yeah.
Dyson Daniels 229. So again, 129 or 130 steals
Bro.
more than the highest person.
Come on.
Draymond Green.
I'm like, come on, what
Hold,
you want this man to do?
hold
You can
tight.
add these two guys together, and they're still
Hold tight.
not
We got
Dyson
more.
Daniels.
We got more. We got more. We got 55 blocks for Dyson Daniels, 113 for Evan Mobley, and 70 blocks for Draymond Green. So in the total, we got 169 blocks for Draymond Green. We got 174 for 75 for Evan Mobley, and then what we want 300 or 200 and we got a lot for Dyson Daniels. 229, 55. I mean, that's incredible. The math, I can't do it too fast, but all in all, the defensive rating, we want to say is a 108.6 for Draymond Green. Defensive rating for Evan Mobley, 108.3. Dyson Daniels, 110.9. So again, even the stats are leaning towards
Come on now.
Dyson Daniels taking this. So I don't want to. Here's the thing: when people were talking to me in the comments about how the voting goes and what the premise, how they go off of voting. First of all, I know that not all voters do watch every single team. That's an unfortunate truth. I do know that not every nominee is going to get looked at just like the other. But what I do understand is that when we look at the statistics, when we look at all of this, it's hard to look away. And like you just said, there isn't any hand checking. Defense is totally different in this day and age than it was back in 2000 or even in 1992. So we understand that Dyson Daniels is doing something totally different. I mean, in all honesty, you look at Dyson Daniels, who is an artist on the arc, if you will, defending players like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, like your best offensive threats on any other team. And then Evan Mobley, you got a shot blocker, a rim protector. Totally get it. Whereas in Draymond Green, he's more of a floor general. So in my opinion, I feel as though we have three different things to pick from. I think Dyson Daniels is definitely deserving. I want the people in the comments to definitely talk to us some more about it.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, I always drop your comments and everything. Again, just like you were saying about that was the stocks that you was reading out, pretty much the steals and the blocks between the two of them, right?
For sure. I didn't
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's like just with the steals alone, you can add those guys' steals together and still don't reach Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels can lend them some steals.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
it's crazy.
Yes.
And now the blocks, of course, I feel like Evan was going to take that category anyway.
For sure, he's a
but
rim
again,
protector.
of course, but to still have between steals and blocks to still have 284, that's just, I'm just saying, man, like that's close to 300 right there.
Right.
And that's these guys, no disrespect to him, but again, like you get in the block and he's still not too far off. 55? He's still, he's close to Draymond.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to catch
15.
Evan Mobley.
Right.
But again, I feel like it's more impressive when a player can take the ball away from somebody, when somebody's trying to get into their bag or run the offense and you take the ball from them and go the other way. I feel like that's just more impressive. Blocks are always going to be cool. But if you're a rim protector, that's what you're supposed to be doing. If you're a center,
you're the last line of defense.
You're the last line. So it just, again, you got some guys like Dyson Daniels who are picking up from, end to end on the best players and stuff like that and making waves.
So
guys like him.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry. But before we move on, should we say that Evan Mobley is more so a byproduct of poor defense on the front court than it is him just being this all great defense? Because that's the one thing that I'm harping on, is that we talk about these rim protectors and that it's a big man award, but yet the fact that they have 113 plus blocks and this, that, and the third, it's a sign of poor defense on the front end. Am I right?
Yeah. That's definitely another thing to consider. Of course, scheme and offense also runs into it, but again, regardless of what is supposed to be, regardless of the reason on why guys are getting to the rim, again, there is still more impressive on what Dyson Daniels is doing to defenders, taking the ball away,
Right.
getting in starting transition plays. I'm just saying, man, if Dyson Daniels can't get it, then just turn it into the big man defensive of the year
I
award or
like
something.
it.
The
They
big
should,
man
yeah,
defender.
split it
Yeah,
up. Big
something.
man defense, big man offense, or small defensive
Guards or
man.
something. I mean, at the
Yeah,
end of the day, just make it a big man award and just cut all that out and just
right.
leave the guys out of it. Just leave the
Now,
guard.
now we got, of course, not Dyson Daniels, but Zaccharie Risacher as the
Of
finalist
course,
for Rookie
Marook.
of the Year. We talked about it, man. You and I have definitely talked about it. We believe that he's a Rookie of the Year. He hand over fist. He's Rookie of the Year. I think he's going to take it. What about you, my friend?
I ain't gonna lie, he did have a slow start. It's gonna be tough, but Zach did come on, man, toward the end of the year. Was the second half of the season, averaging 12.6 points. He played 75 games too, 46% from the field, 36% from three. Had like one of the only rookies, if not the only rookie, to have multiple 30-point games. Man, at the end of the day, I love to see the growth. I love to see the
Yeah,
growth. I I don't know, man. It's tough. Like I feel like he should win the Rookie of the Year award. I do.
absolutely.
I feel like he should take it home. But I know it's gonna be some voters that just probably look at Stephon Castle and they just be like, well, I mean, he was probably averaging like 15, anywhere from 15 to 21 points, and they may be like, well, that's a little bit more consistent, and then he was. It's tough, bro.
I
Like
don't.
it's hard
Yeah,
to defend it because it's tough, and I know, and I don't want to ramble and go on and on about what the possibilities because there are many and they're endless. But it's just at the end of the day, the end all be all, and the point blank is they may lean to Stephon because it may seem like more consistency, But
yeah.
Zach should still win.
It definitely did not go well in his favor. Be that he only had 3 points. In the final
The
game for the
playoffs.
Atlanta
Oh
Hawks.
yeah,
Yeah, so that doesn't help. But
yeah, that hurt.
again, going off of what I've heard listeners and different viewers talk about how they vote, we know that Stephon Castle was on a team that had no chance of making the playoffs. Not Dyson, but Zaccharie Risacher was a part of a team and he contributed to a team that was pushing to the playoffs. The fact that they didn't make the playoffs definitely doesn't help him in his pursuits for Rookie of the Year, but it definitely adds a better it just adds a better framework around it.
No, I get what you're saying. For sure.
Was Steve Quin, president for the Atlanta Hawks, he actually spoke on one of the radio stations here in Atlanta talking about Zaccharie Risacher. So just give it a quick listen really quickly.
Yes,
Okay.
and every night he gets better. I mean, it's been amazing really to watch him, every night from the time he steps on the floor to warm up, one of the first guys out there to do that. And then the strides that he's made during the season, especially shooting it, I mean, he's got all the moves. And the thing about him is he doesn't act like he just turned 21 last week, but he doesn't act like a 19, 20-year-old. I mean, he's poised out there. I guess that's the best way to put it. And he's got the moves, and nothing scares him. So I think that that bodes well for the future for this kid. And I don't know if he's going to win Rookie of the Year or not. He might have come on too late in the second half of the season, but
and of course he did say
That's
how,
what I'm saying.
and he spoke to the fact that the voters, at one point the voters were a compilation of one beat writer in the city of your team, fans having like I think 10% or some small percentage of voting, and now that it's changed to a group of writers and group of people like Stephen A. Smith, this, that, and the third, that they have some say in it, whereas at one point they didn't. But all in all, we do feel as though he does deserve it.
And real quick, I don't want him to come get you. But that you had Steve right, but that was Steve Holman.
Steve Holman, that's right. My apologies. It's not Steve Quin.
The voice
yeah,
of our Atlanta Hawks.
For sure. That was Steve Holman. Yeah, and I mean, granted, yes, the guy's first in, last out. I've seen how he has put in time with his craft, and I do feel as though going forward, let's say he doesn't get this award. I don't want to believe that he won't. I think he will. But if he doesn't, he has more to prove, and I think it's going to put a major chip on his shoulder going forward because this guy's going to be the truth within the next year or so.
Yeah, and if so, then that'll be good for him and good for the Atlanta Hawks. Get a mean streak
Yeah.
and show everybody that, hey, look, I am the number one draft pick, and I'm going to show everybody why.
Now,
So,
one time before we get out of here, we got to talk about the one snub that the Atlanta Hawks experienced is the finalist for the Kia Clutch Player of the Year award. Trae Young was somewhat looked at as somebody to make this list or make the finalist. He unfortunately didn't. Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, and his name is Nikola Jokic. All three of them have made it, but unfortunately Trae Young is not. Again, Trae Young is the assist leader for the entire NBA. I want to say about 100 more assists than the closest one, which is Nikola Jokic, who is on this list. Chris, he got snubbed. Give me your thoughts, man.
hey, man, we know we don't call it getting snubbed no more. We call it getting trade. I'm saying
sure.
trade got trade. I'm saying I know. I'm just assuming that the categories or the criteria, should I say, for clutch player is a little different. I'm guessing,
Right.
Because Trae Young was first in game winners, assists, free throws, third in points, and third in threes. Maybe he needed to be first in all those.
For sure.
I don't know. I guess to be a finalist or something, but I just feel like I would love to know what the criteria is. And a lot of these awards were already voted upon. So as far as like who's going to be the finalists and everything like that, I think. But still, it's just like, wow, that's crazy not to have any consideration in that to be a finalist, and you're like first and third, you're top three in some of the most important categories,
For sure.
And so that's tough. But yeah, man, I feel like Trae got trade.
But Trae got trade again. And yes, I do believe. You can see it even on the Twitter page for the Atlanta Hawks, how they reposted the finalists, basically alluding to the fact that Trae Young is nowhere to be found on this list.
Right.
Real quick.
And all those other guys, I guess, like they're on playoff teams. They're still playing extra basketball. I guess wins counting it. Like I said, I would love to know what the criteria is.
Yeah.
Because again, like it's again, first in game winners, first in assists, first in free throws, third in points, and third in threes. Like I said, I'm like, what, he needed to be first in all those or something?
So really quickly before we get out of here, out of the three superlatives that we could possibly walk home with, how many do you see us getting?
I want us to get all three, of course, but realistically, oh man, just to not get everybody's hopes up, realistically, probably one.
Really?
Now, and that would be most improved, just because again, it wouldn't surprise me if they trade Dyson Daniels on the on the defensive player of the year. It wouldn't surprise me at all. It would be quite unfortunate and honestly disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I would understand because that's the way that it goes sometimes. And sometimes, people just go against the city of Atlanta, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
I see 2 out of 3. I can honestly see 2 out of 3. I feel like Dyson Daniels is going to get most improved player of the year. I feel as though Zaccharie Risacher will get rookie of the year. Defensive player of the year, I'm hoping I've kind of let go of that per se, but all in all, that is where I'm going with 2 out of 3. And we should have some stuff to talk about once these awards do make it into the hands of our guys.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, I'm voting for your take more so than mine. It's
For
just,
sure.
I know how they do us, man.
For
but
sure.
I would love to go home with all 3, but at least 2.
For sure. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is. Listen, my name is Walter Pollard. This is Chris Tip Moore on the other end. And listen, talk to us in the comments. Let us know how you feel as far as voting is concerned. We'll definitely stay up to date, keep you guys up to date on how these things go. Of course, this is Atlanta Hawks Digest. That's Chris Tip Moore. My name is Walter Pollard. You already know what time it is, man. We out. Peace.